Alright folks, fuel pressure tested good, seems to be holding at 53. I'm going to pull the intake off, do a compression check the plugs. I'll show you how to pull the intakes off these things. They're really not that hard, and you have to pull not intake, but the plenum. You have to pull the plenums to change the spark plugs on these cars. And you know, everybody gets afraid of these things, but they're really not that hard to take off. I'll actually show you how quick and easy it is to get them off. Well, I mean, it's not quick, but it's relatively easy. Set y'all down here in the tripod. Try to go through it. Just watch what tools I use. I'll try to tell them off as I do them. Flathead screwdriver. You have one plug here, unplug, and you have one tube underneath, your ventilation tube. Oh, of course, this thing's not even tight. So you basically pull it off because it's probably been sucking dirt. And these are easy just to get out of the way. You just pull them straight up. Quick pull, they'll come right out. See, held in two posts, two rubber grommets at the bottom. That's how easy they come off. It's harder to change the filter with this in the vehicle, this box. It's harder to change it with it in. This is the way you change your filter. Pull it out, set it on the ground, take it apart, and do it. Okay. Let's see, we got 3. Got an air bypass. And they just squeeze, fittings, squeeze them. Squeeze the tab ends, lock them in, unplug them. And that's how easy they come off. There's usually a bolt down here that supports the lower part of the throttle body. There's one missing there. I don't have one. You have another vacuum line that goes to your PCV valve. You have your throttle lines, which is the easiest, just to pull the cable ends out on both of them. The first one comes out. It's probably, your first one is your throttle. Your second one is your cruise control. You pop it open and slide it through the same hole. That easy to come off. There's a little tab right here that locks it. You can pull it with your thumb and you slide the whole mechanism right out. Okay, back here you have a push-in tab that pushes down into the intake, but there's also a release clip on this. You can use your fingernail. I use my fingernail, a screwdriver. Try not to break the clip. It's one of those clips that's held on by both sides. Once you start messing with it, you see what I'm talking about. Pop open, pull your cables out. Set it a little bit out of your way. Here's your other plug. Here you have another vacuum line on the back of the intake. Be careful, sometimes these elbows are rotted. This one's actually in good shape and they'll break right off. Then you have a tube that goes onto the top of the throttle body. Be careful with that elbow too, and the plastics that it goes to. Just lift it right out. You have on the back side, you have a tube that bolts into the back of the intake. And of course it's missing it's missing the bolts also. It'll be an 8mm. Should have 2 holding it, but it only has 1. So looks like I'll have to search up some parts for that also. But it's a metal tube. Let me see if I can get you all in here where you can see what the metal tube looks like. There it goes. Right there. You have a 8mm on this side, 8mm on that side. and of course one of them's missing. So, but there's a little rubber grommet that goes over behind that plate. Sometimes they're tore up, but we'll see what it looks like. You also have a vacuum line that runs to your booster right here. Flathead screwdriver. Set you back down. There is a plate that's actually bolting this tube to the plenum. Once you take these screws out, this plate slides all the way down the tube. It's just something, if you don't know, it falls all the way down. Search for it. Okay, that tube, you don't even really pull it out. You just leave it right where it's at. Then you have 6, let's see, 2, 4, 5 plenum screws across the front. A lot of times you can reuse these O-rings that are on these plenums. Also, blow this off real good with air hose. Start the center, just crack them loose. Some have them extremely tight. They don't really have to be that tight. I'll have to look up the specs when I go to put it back together just to show you how the specs work. I know it wasn't a whole lot. I should have removed my fuel pressure, but I actually wanted to let it sit and see if it held fuel pressure. See if it bled back in the tank or not, which it didn't so far. These are 8mm screws. Make sure you pull them all the way out and remove them by hand. You don't want to take a chance of one of these just accidentally falling and going down into the intake itself. You can fish it out with a magnet, but you don't want anything falling in your intake. The way these intakes come off here, or out of here, is you lift it up right here from the bolts, just a little bit. Oh yeah, also don't forget to pull your dipstick out. Your oil dipstick is just slightly in the way. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Yep. It's slightly in the way for when you come up and out like this with the intake. Is what you're doing is you're pulling it out of this tube up here. Let's see what I'm talking about. See, they just lift up and then the intake slides this way and comes right out of that tube. Oh yeah, I guess I need to take loose the vacuum to the booster. It's usually all swelled up. Yep, this one's all swelled up. Okay, the intake just comes right out of the way. Let them. That's it. That's all there is to it. You can see these O-ring seals here. They're usually reusable, but I'm replacing these, and actually these are flattened and could be sucking air. As you can see, residues and oils seeping from around it. So this is probably sucking air right in here, which is not good. These things are airy sounding intakes anyway. Okay folks, that took probably about 15 minutes to remove that intake. Your spark plugs and your coils right here. One coil, plugs. I'm going to get something to stuff in these intake holes, and we'll come back when we get a reading on the compression, and check the spark plugs for that cylinder, see what it looks like. It looks like somebody has already replaced that injector, because it is a new injector. And of course, they didn't get the retaining clip back on properly. onto the injector. I could tell the injector was working fine. I could smell a little bit of fuel, really could smell the gas coming out the exhaust, so we're going to do a compression check on it and see what that says. Alright, we'll come back when I get the plugs out and start a compression check. Thanks for watching.